February 15th, 2025. Okay. I did a tape earlier and I didn't have enough storage, so I had to go back through my phone. This whole thing, it gets draining. I mean, literally draining. We're 6 years into it, and the cartel and medical still pestering me. It's like beating a dead horse. Um, they've already confessed they photoshopped everything, they drugged everything, framed me. Police already documented it. Yesterday, I was in Circle Restaurant in Deerfield. People were in there talking. Her ex-husband hired a drug dealer in the store for Ravenna. That's who was in her home before. Nobody would say a word. Okay. They already know that. Officer Mark, in August of 23, told the lady it's documented and verified I was framed before, and it was a drug cartel in my home before. It's documented and verified it was a medication error that made me sick before. And another woman was even using my insurance. FBI informant. The police worked my case. One has to document everything every day, from drugs and told to say it, to photoshopping a shower scene to make you look weird. And then mocking the FBI, mocking everybody. For falling for it. In January of 19, I was in Belden Village. They're telling everybody they're drug traders and human traffickers from Florida. Well, people in the mall called them fucking child molesters. You say you're a human trafficker, you sell women and children for sex slaves and being murdered. You're a fucking child molester. It's nothing but fucking child molesters that did this to her. So, you're gonna say you're part of the fucking child molesters that did this. You're a fucking child molester. Because that's who was in my home before the cartel. The human traffickers from Florida. So, you want to say, and they were already involved. It only got great big because that Michelle started dating that really rich guy, Will, they talked about. And he paid for all this. Where they talked about some really rich guy named Will up there. He was paying for everything. Karen's Will is a rich guy. What was it, 100 or 300 acres? He was paying everybody. They confronted Bill from the Freemasons. He was paying for everything. He had, I forget how many hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars in the first 6 months he paid into this. And maybe him. Got it? Now, we're going to put it this way. If he wouldn't have got involved, it wouldn't have got this big. They were here 6 months before the case, where I was almost kidnapped and then almost carjacked. And then the people in the restaurant. See, in March of 18, I told you about that weird family that was involved in my case, the FBI case. They were there 6 months before the case started. 6 months. Our house is up for sale. We're running errands in Belden. Dave wanted to go to this one restaurant we never went to. Went in. There's a couple sitting over by the window, and an old couple. The waitress sits by the older couple. This young blonde girl in khaki cargo pants, 18, thin little t-shirt, blonde hair, down to about a bra strap, walks by me, goes, and sits down, bam! Does he think it's funny bringing her here? I said, Dave, who is that? I don't know. Then bam! In the back of my booth, knocks me forward. I said, who is that? He's like, I don't know. And then they said something about Dave. I said, those people seem to know you. He's like, I don't know who they are. Bam! And she knocks me into the table. He's like, are you okay? I said, who are those people? He's like, I don't know. And she does it again. I hit the table. He's like, "Are you okay?" I said, "Who are those people?" He's like, "I don't know." I said, can I sit over there with you?" He said, "Yes." And I said, "Do you want to leave?" He's like, "We've already ordered our food." He wraps both arms around me and snarls at him. I said, "Who are those people?" He's like, "I don't know." Okay. He told Danny some crazy blonde girl threw her body in the back of Mom's booth so she had to sit on my side. They were the three sets of mean parents. Remember Officer Mark and John, the older white guy, 70, white, baseball hat, black glasses with a white lady with white hair. Three sets of mean parents. They were waiting for me to die from my injuries. They were here 6 months before the case. It. They also, she showed up in like 19 or 20 at Woodforest at Walmart, 62, khaki denim pants, blonde, looking about 19, 20, thin little t-shirt as if you don't know what's going on, walked off. I thought, I've seen you before. Where have I seen you? I've lived through hell, and I mean, I've only seen her walk by me, then ram her body. I never talked to her. And I thought, oh my God, you were here 6 months before the case. That's why I was almost kidnapped in front of Terry. And then I told you, on like the third day up there, we had, second or third day, we went down and did several loads. We had our stuff in storage, and then we had stuff at Danny's. It's in the evening, and I wanted to put curtains up in the basement windows so it looked lifted. We go to Walmart in Maslin. John and his kids are there. They come running at us. They're real little. Grandma Popo, what you doing here? We're buying curtains for the basement, okay? What are you doing? I don't know. Pass each other. We go outside, and there's a white car sitting near mine. Yeah, he has his truck and trailer loaded in my SUV. The white car starts up. He said, "I'll follow you." He always makes me follow him, but I wasn't going to argue with him. I thought, sweet. You know what I mean? I don't have to worry about something falling out on me. What was the setup? What was the setup? We start on the narrow back way from Maslin on Erie Street. And on the way back, all of a sudden, he turns his car like this. Can't get around to me the other side. I'm like, "Dave," because I'm talking to Dave on the phone while we're driving. This guy blocked the road. What is he doing? I can't get around on either side. It's starting to rain. And all of a sudden he steps out, jeans, cowboy boots, tall white man with black hair. Same profile as I got her that chased me across the parking lot and almost kidnapped me in front of Terry. Okay, and I'm looking at him. And he goes to reach back in to grab something off the dashboard. I'm like, oh my God, Dave, I think I'm getting carjacked. He's grabbing something off the dashboard. I start putting my car in reverse. I said, Dave, where'd you go? He said, I turned down a side road. And I'm back and I'm flooring, screaming, "Where are you?" By the grace of God, another car started coming toward us, put his brights in that guy's face. He steps back in his car, straightens it up, and peels out. I straighten up my car. I peel out. I'm screaming, "Where are you?" He doesn't show up to Walmart 62, 12 miles away. The police taped Dixie telling me that he laughed at her. He knew I was getting carjacked and left me on purpose. Okay. The guy that tried to kidnap me in front of Terry took my one coworker, Lori's family member. I didn't have the heart to tell her how I knew about him. I was working at a 2-client lift, and she had got a text message. Her friend had got killed in Canton. She said this is as bad as when they took my family member and they had people show up in stores and laugh that they tied her up and cut her up in pieces, how they killed her. They actually do cut people up in pieces. They're finding mass graves of severed bodies. So think about how not funny that is. Michelle and her group aren't funny killing people. when you realize she is nothing but a fucking child molester, her and her group, and serial killers, and that's what you're helping. Run scams on people. Do we understand? And I told her, I said, well, people are sick. And she showed me a picture of her. Okay. And she was pretty, young and blonde. Okay. I sat down and I said, did you know about the guy in the white van? She said, how do you know about the guy in the white van that took my family member? I took a deep breath. And I said, did you see the big truck guys in town in 19, 20, 21? They said they were from Florida. She said, yeah, they were in the bars. Me and my boyfriend would go in there. Okay. And I said, they said they were drug traders. Yes, they did. I said, did you know about Henry Moffitt? Sounds about right. He was with him. I show her the picture from Facebook. That's not him, but he is with him. Tried to get a hold of me on Instagram the first month that they were trying to kill me. Sent me things that he thought I was beautiful. Yeah. Started thinking about it. We went through some more stuff. And then she started telling me, how did you know about the white van that took my family member? There was a big reward of trying to find out her killer. I tried to tell that agent, and he called me a liar. My house manager, I went in to work, and my DM's real pretty, and the Florida truck guys swarmed her, and she pulled into a little mini mall, got a store, and hid from them. She's like, I hate those human traffickers. And she's like, my husband was so upset. He told me I wasn't allowed to leave the house without him. I'm an adult. He won't tell me what to do. Marlisa's like, well, you know about the guy in the white van. I started stuttering. That's my kidnapper. The tall white man with black hair, working with the other guy. The authorities told us that they know all about him. And the big truck guys and the other people in stores tricking people to go outside and they grab them. They're the drug traders that are human trafficking people. She was taking Christmas Day Maslin 19. That's why there's Patrick laws. Okay. Now you think of all the thousands of people that have been taken, and they only got a handful of them back. And they're finding mass graves of severed bodies. All right. Michelle and her group showed up in January or February of 19 at Faith Family Church, pulling a scam that she was dating Dave. When John's kids said on Thanksgiving of 18 they wanted the house for Auntie Sean Papa, okay, I thought it was Michelle Calgill, because only Michelle I knew connected to Dave was Michelle Calgill, a 50-year-old woman that was really mean to her first husband. I figured it'd serve him right, trying to kill me for a mean girl. Serve him right. I'm sitting in church, a bunch of teenagers come in. And she yells out, I'm the one that dates Dave. I look back. It's like, you don't look 18. And I look back and it's like, you don't even look like you weigh 100 pounds. I'm the one that dates her husband. I can have anybody drugged, beaten, raped. I just have to ask those guys. She said, no, they called the drug cartel the boys. I can have, I slept with, and she even said she slept with the drug cartel that night. And that she had their clothes on. Slept with the guys that night. Sleeping with a bunch of men or dating my husband? I don't think so. Those guys will do anything. I just have to ask them. Then she went, I'm Agent Will's daughter. Then she started laughing and said, I'm actually George Peter's daughter. Okay. Her group admitted that they were taping in the bathroom. She even admitted she was watching me use the bathroom. They admitted to the shower scene in the other room. They also told people they sold kitty porn to my grandkids going potty. They were the ones that raped and tortured me, also impersonated the FBI. They were also the one that crushed my skull and sold the login to the case to Faith Family Church. They were the ones in the mall that they were drug traders and human traffickers from Florida. They were relocating people to Florida, okay, to a resort area. They even said they had doctors involved in Maslin, that they were drug traders and human traffickers from Florida, and that they were running experiments on people. 3 Indian men showed up, youngest one named Henry, they called him, and they were supposed to be the doctors. Okay? There's real people if you find them. Okay? And even in town, neighbors even knew of the big truck guys in town, told people they were drug traders from Florida and they were for Judge Peter. It's Judge Peters. Judge Peters was arrested in 22 with 100 people. The resort area was Disney. And where the Middle Eastern men showed up for We All Work for the King from Texas, we are his men. Dave hired us. He's a drug lord. If you look up the King from Texas, he is U.S. military Iraqi translator, went into the dark web, malware, fentanyl king. He's Middle Eastern. That's where the ladies in hijabs and the Middle Eastern men that admitted they were human trafficking people. If you look at Judge Peters' arrest, they had a pipeline between Florida, Louisiana, and Texas. They were selling people. That's why they were here. Back on January 27th, 25, in Speedway and Middle Branch, when the drug cartel girls come in with, she has a toboggan on, she's blonde. She's on the phone with somebody. Why don't they just go ahead and give her her money? It's not like we need it. We all know Michelle showed up here, had everybody say what they were doing, who they work for, so they go down and arrest her father so she could take over the drug cartel. We all know it was for Michelle to take over the drug cartel. Okay? Oh, and her people have been announcing she's planning on being drug lord over this area. I'm sure the Cleveland Mafia will have a big say in that. Like people have even said, do you realize she could start a drug war here? Yep. Not getting involved in that one. Are you nuts? And see, I didn't even know till December 18th, 24. She told people I threatened her. My God. And then you got to think, who the hell would fall for that one? She's a head of a human trafficking drug cartel. She's got all those big drug dealers working for her. And then she had all kinds of men that work for her. If you threaten somebody's daughter of a head cartel, you'll be lucky if they only put a bullet in your head. And they didn't slaughter you into pieces to put an example. So anybody that would even fall for that, her saying, I threatened her, that takes a low IQ. You'd be executed. I've never even spoke to her. I didn't even know she existed till she showed up at church. Never talked to her, just let her walk around breaking her crimes in front of the cops. Under police surveillance. All right. That's where January 30th, 25, outside my client's my correspondent, the guy that dates Michelle, he was outside where I was working. And I was in the front room, could hear everything they were saying. I'm the one that dates Michelle. She didn't know who she was until January, February 19 when she showed up to church. Yeah. I heard she showed up in some other guy's clothes and breaking she slept with a lot of men that night. Oh, I heard her say it too. Oh, everybody did. She's supposed to be dating me and she's out sleeping with a bunch of men. He said, I heard her say it. So did everybody. Well, I guess we're going to have a talk. I heard how that family acted in that restaurant and how her husband wrapped his arms around her and protected her. Where the boom in the back of the booth. I never talked to them either. I told them I never want to hear from them again. Part of the Florida drug cartel, okay? They were already watching me, stalking me. Even Michelle next to my house on Lenox and Maslin, she seen a car sitting outside my house watching it for a long time before I moved out in May. They were stalking me. They were watching me. That's where I was almost carjacked when we moved out. And I was followed and rounded by Savannah's Facebook friend. I still haven't figured out what the hell they're doing involved. Except for her baby daddy used to be a big drug dealer. Now she thinks she's some kind of mafia princess. She can end up in jail for life for this one. People died over this. I don't even know her, and I don't think I've even ever said hello to her either. See, I haven't figured out why they're involved. Because why would you? They left their lighthouse in 1984 when Strange insulted Jack, Pam's ex-husband. They went to get married, and his sister showed up at church, and I had went out to the bathroom. I come in, and she's running out of the sanctuary in tears. It's like, what on earth? Oh, Strange called her a bunch of names from the pulpit. Well, they already paid for their wedding. And they only came back maybe 4 or 5 times. We hadn't even had anything to do with them in 28 years. So when you see them, hi, how are you? How's your kids? Or how's your grandkids? And then over 6, 8 years, we've probably seen them 10, 15 times tops. If that. Walk by, hi, how are you? And then we're into over 30 years. Just polite if somebody used to know. I don't even understand why they're involved. I haven't figured out that one. Because she's an RN nurse and she knows HIPAA. And she would know the right to privacy. She's an educated woman. So what on earth is she doing involved? I haven't figured that one out. Whereas followed and rounded, I went and the police officer wouldn't let me go home alone. He knew he was up to something. Okay, well, Dave insisted I went that way, and that guy started following me and then ran my car. Okay? And like they said, they would roll me if I wouldn't have my foot on the brake. He was doing way over 45 when he ran me. Okay? Go over to Danny and Jen's. Kaylee's over there. And said, well, you know about Savannah. I know of her, but I don't know her. What do you mean you don't know her? Why would I? Her family went to that church a long time ago. Like 84. I don't even know all Pam's children's name. I don't even know all their names. She went to that church when she got married. Because he insulted Jack's sister. They only come visit like 4 or 5 times in the beginning. They stopped coming. I didn't see him. I don't even think I've ever even said hello to Savannah. Where Kaylee said, well, you know about Savannah. I know of her, but I don't know her. What do you mean you don't know her? Why would I? Her family went to that church a long time ago. I've never had trouble with them. Dear God, I haven't even seen them. You know what I mean? Well, you know that, but I didn't say that part. But I hadn't even seen them. Even at church. You know who talked to us at that church? Delano, Eddie. Dave's old boss. His nice daughter, Trina, and Jeanette. We stayed to ourselves. We only went to church maybe 6 to 10 times a year, if that. Dave worked all the time, so a lot of times we just went seeing our grandkids or went out to eat. We had our own lives. Away from the call. Just go visit. So, I mean, to say hello in passing, we didn't see him every service. That we did go, and we only went 6 to 10 times a year. If that. So I have nothing to do with them. That's where Kaylee is like, well, you know, that little girl, that baby she holds, some big drug dealer, the baby daddy's a big drug dealer. What does that have to do with anything? She looking at me like I'm stupid. So I took her hint, and I went home, looked it up, and it was her Facebook friend that followed her around me. Thought, what on earth are they doing involved? We have nothing to do with them. See, that's where April 28th, 24th, I'm in Walmart on the strip. A guy walks in, is on the phone. I listened to the recorded line that agent did admit to telling on her, and he did talk to her like that. They better do something about it. By the veggie officer in uniform shows up. Karen, I was listening to this today. We all know nobody drugs anybody, but the drug cartel. It was a drug cartel in my home before. The human traffickers. And we all know that guy told on you before. I want to know how he heard it. Because they've hacked into the login, and they're selling it. Michelle's group was selling it at the Family Church. Okay. Now, Melissa's kids, under police surveillance, got caught stating they wanted the house for Auntie Shaw and Papa. Okay. Grandma needs to get out. Then later on to Florida, they made everything up. They were games of pretend. Because of the FBI case, the police were following around everyone. They even caught Melissa telling the kids to lie, and the kids dating in the basement. They made everything up. I go up to John and I ask him what on earth is going on. He's like, Mom, I don't know. I told Melissa, that's his ex-wife, you're going through a divorce, gonna be moving out. She'll have the kids make up something. Trust me, nobody could say anything bad about you. And she'll have her church people make up something too. But don't worry about it. No one could ever say anything bad about you. It's only going to be because you're going to be moving out and going through a divorce. It's like, well, you shouldn't have said anything until it happened. But I did. And since nobody can say anything bad about you, don't worry about it. It shoots me. And to clarify everything, I called Dave. I've never heard anyone. Karen, you're good to the kids, you're good to the grandkids. Okay? You never hurt anyone. You're good to everyone, no matter who it is. I taped him. And so did the police. Okay? Well, in 21, the Stark County Sheriff, some guy named Kurt was helping pay for the harassment. Well, he found out that on Thanksgiving of 18, they got taped. They made everything up. They were games of pretend. In 19, my granddaughter Flora ratted them out of the mean games of pretend, laughing. Of course, it never happened. Of course, it wasn't true. We made it up. They're games of pretend. They're documented mean games of pretend. Well, in May of 21, I went to Pennsylvania, and they're talking about that Kurt finding out that those kids were lying. He was going to kill her. It's like Kurt's Law. They said it in 18. It's 21. Okay? I used to go sit outside the Stark County Sheriff's. I know they help watch me. Because the case, they'll tell you if they Family Church, they help watch me for the and document everything for the FBI case. It's them against the drug cartel. And they know they hacked it, so they don't care. Okay? They're sort of like the marshals. We're here, we watch her, you got a problem with it? It's drug cartel. They have no problem to let them know they're there. Okay? Alright. Well, I sat outside. It's like, well, if Kurt just found out those kids are lying, he's low, right? To a sheriff's walk out laughing, boy, if Kurt just found out those kids are lying, he is low. Well, the sheriff's mocked him. So he tells everybody, to stay out of it. Okay? Well, there's a guy on the phone by in the lady's clothing looking at me and still in the grocery aisle. Okay? Said, Kurt, none of this is funny. They have the agent over her case, admitting he told on her before he talked to her, to all the churches. I know they do. Okay? And they have her whole family defending her. I know they do. And these people admitting they made everything up on her, photoshopped everything, and drugged everything. None of this is funny. Everybody stay out of it. Then by the front aisle, Pam Strange and her granddaughter. Uncle Dave said he had someone tape her before. Oh, they'll verify it. Who they say it was? The cartel that's made up, photoshopped, and drugged. Okay? I go to walk out. Investigators bust out laughing. Took her long enough to confess she was in it with Dave and those stocking tapes. Her family was linked to the following and Randy. Okay? Now she's in it with the stocking tapes. Her kids better never verify it. They'll go to jail for it. The police already taped him defending her and that they didn't know anything about this. And these people admitting to drugging her and tell her say it before, photoshopped everything and made everything up on her. Police would have to arrest him for being out with Dave, trying to kill her and cover it up. People scattered. That night in North Canton, some guy was outside the apartment I was staying. We're allowed. I could hear him talk to someone. I told that girl that she's been taped, saying she knows of those stocking tapes, and she better not get caught part of them or she'll go to jail. She needs to start realizing how not funny this is. That guy Chris they said they raced out of the room, I found out she don't even know who he is. I don't. They talked about him around me. I don't know who he is. He was one of the main people hurting her. And she don't even know who she is. And that girl needs to start realizing how not funny this is. Okay? I like to know why they're involved. Dave went to Stranger's Church in 19. Pam's granddaughter was still in her car seat, her mother's arms. What on earth is she doing calling him Uncle Dave? She shouldn't even know who he is. He left the United States in 23. He was 24. It's like, what on earth are you doing involved? See, that's where this crazy occult, that's one thing about cartels and occults. They think that they can make up any rule, any law, and it be gospel. It's not. It's not. They can't just make up new laws and rules, and it's just changed at their whims. They're lying. They're fucking lying. You know, where I had medical malpractice and medication errors almost killed me. And it's documented fraud, medical malpractice, and medication errors. Altman Family Physicians 2002 to 2004. Okay, they were ripping off my insurance, making me sick, and wanting to do an unnecessary brain surgery. Made it look like I had brain tumors by making me have seizures, heart attacks, whole body swallow up, adrenal gland, thyroid shut down. I was dying when Altman Family Physicians told me they were known for doing this. Falsely diagnosing people, ripping them off, making them sick, and doing unnecessary procedures. That they were just ripping off my insurance and getting kickbacks from the drug companies to get an attorney to sue them and turn them over state to pull their license. I'm not the only one they had done it to. Okay? And they were known for doing this to people. And then over 2 years, redocumenting and addressing it to me and Dave that they wanted us to sue them. And it's documented fraud, medical malpractice, and medication errors. Now, that occult's trying to say they had one of those dirty doctors in their pocket. They were paying them to do that to me. My God. And they were with the cult the whole time. They weren't my doctors, where they were treating me, and under HIPAA, they could never even talk to them. That they were actually taking payoffs for them. And they paid them up to write even more fraud against me. Like a lady investigator said, they better never say that. They'll all go to jail. A long time for attempted murder. A long time. See, these people aren't even realizing what they're saying. Okay. We're on January 30th, 25. Okay. That guy's out there saying he was the one dating Michelle, where they said some rich guy named Will was paying for it. It was him. Okay. That later that day, I went down to Carrollton in a restaurant called the Virginias. There is some drug dealers sitting over by the windows, pushing their phones back and forth. They photoshopped a scene of washing yourself in the shower in the other room. Oh, the police will fall for it. They never did. So who are they trying to fool now? And the guy's like, you can tell it's washing in the shower and it's photoshopped. Oh, the police will fall for it. Oh, hell no. So I start rambling about stuff to my boyfriend. There's a group of guys sitting right next to us. They stand up. She's talking about it again. Will said that girl had been cheating on him the whole time. Been playing him to pay for everything. And that they can't get away with any of this. And he's not going to go to jail. There's an older guy sitting over in the corner. Mouth open. Okay. Well, we go to Walmart 62 later that day. The guy that showed up December 18th, 24, showed up and found out that I didn't even know who Michelle was until January, February of 18. Came in and screamed it out. And the guy's like, she didn't know who she was. I've still never talked to her. See, the whole thing of it is, why didn't you ask me? Why didn't somebody ask me? You know, if somebody would have looked at me and said, why did you threaten Michelle? I'd say, I haven't talked to Michelle Cowgill in 6 years. And then say, blah, blah, blah. I don't even know who you're talking about. See what I mean? If you're going to help harass somebody, at least ask the victim. Then you gotta think, somebody the head of a cartel's kid, they would execute you if you actually did. Get it? Came in, Karen never knew who Michelle was till January or February 19. No, I made sure of it. I remember that guy saying that when he walked by me the day she showed up. I told those people she didn't know who she was. I made sure of it. I still never talked to her. I just let her run her mouth and confess to crimes in front of the cops. Oh, yeah. And she told me she threatened her. And if she was going to threaten her, I told those people I didn't care what happened to her. Well, he showed up January 30th, 25. He told me keep an eye on her. He said, I already told those people in Walmart 62 off in the distance. I told those people since I found out she didn't even know who Michelle was. I never wanted to hear from them again. Well, I heard her say that it was some sexual predator drug dealer in her home before. I felt bad about everything. They said it was a medication her that made her sick before. I really feel bad about everything. Okay? January 5th, 25, Walmart 62. The police call out the FBI. What is this, another FBI agent? Lied to the U.S. Marshal she was weird with herself? We always knew it was photoshopped of washing herself in the shower. We always knew that. And now another FBI agent lied to the U.S. Marshals, and we already knew they drugged her and told her to say it before. That's where also May of 24 in Myers, North Maine, lady comes in. I talked to the police that actually work her case. They said it's ridiculous to insult her. She almost died to save children. They always knew their backup plan, if she didn't die, or stocking tapes of the weird with yourself was photoshopped of washing yourself in the shower. Hmm? And they had drugged her and told her to say it before, and stocking tapes was a backup plan if she didn't die trying to extort money or things. Okay? Where August of 23, Officer Mark told a lady on a Tuesday, about noon to 1, that none of this is funny. They had taped my ex-husband defended me, and that it was the drug cartel in my home before. And it's documented as framed by him, and it's documented that it was a medication error that made me sick before, and another woman was even using my insurance. That's where an investigator on September 18th, 24, up in Akron, told my client's neighbor that agent needs to get his facts straight before he puts his name on anything. It was a medication error made her sick before. Why'd they wait 15 years? Oh, I went and talked to him. Strange ordered this in 03 when he thought she was following Tim and Katie. And he ordered them to try to have her killed. And if that didn't work, they were to have her destroyed. They were planning it for 15 years before they did it. Nobody was to say or do a thing until Dave said he wanted a divorce. And it took Dave 15 years to say it. That agent needs to get his facts straight. Okay? They told these people, you're messing with the wrong person, the police watcher. How many times have the police yelled at these people? Around March 13th, 23, Walmart 62, two investigators come and screamed at everyone. We told these people stay out of it. We interviewed her whole family a long time ago. She never hurt anyone, and nobody's ever seen anything. It was just some lady thinking she could make money off of it. They were the ones June 23rd to July 4th of 21. What are these people talking about? We interviewed her whole family a long time ago. She never hurt anyone. And girls that dated the drug dealers. Oh my goodness, the boys had to drug her to make her say that stuff. Nobody mentions those tapes again. They were the ones right after Thanksgiving of 18. Why are they having those kids make all that shit up? Oh, they're just trying to scare her out of the house. That's it. We interviewed her whole family a long time, and they spoke highly of her. 18. By Thanksgiving of 18, my part of the case was over. I had went to Altman Family Physicians. Officer Mark and the guys were in the back. And Altman Family made sure that they let him know that it was fraud, medical malpractice, and medication errors. Okay? By Thanksgiving of 18, they had interviewed my whole family and they spoke highly of me. And where they were following everyone around, like they said, Melissa's so stupid she made everything up when you were fishing with Dave. She's actually that stupid. She didn't check where you were. Like Officer John, January 12th of 22. What did those kids get caught stating? They made everything up. They're documented me games of pretend. In 21, in June of 21, beginning of July, I went down to my sister's in Illinois. The cartel followed me again. Okay? And that weird Eric was stalking me. And people's phones are going off. Eric, da-da-da. People are walking by while I'm smoking in my car. Call me names. The woman that almost died to save her family, they're calling names. I scream outside my car. If you don't believe I'm innocent, call the Massillon police. Looked up their number, screamed it out. Street went quiet. Guy yelled out. They said it's documented. Mean games of pretend. She never hurt anyone. I left the next day. Okay? October 5th, 21, they were talking about Melissa lying in Huntington Bank on Cleveland Avenue. Go to leave with my client. He's like, is that crazy, Melissa? They all talk about lying everywhere we go. I said the ex-daughter-in-law friends with the ex's girlfriend made up a bunch of mean jokes on me and had the kids do a bunch of mean games to pretend in front of the place on Thanksgiving of 18. He's like, she's crazy. I said, I know she is. December 9th of 18, Dave verified I never caught him with anyone. There was no one to threaten or be mean to. Okay. Christmas Eve of 22, I go to Danny and Jen and I confront him. I said, did you know about this on the 6th day up there? Someone kicked in my door in the wall. They said yes. When we were at the storage unit, yes. Well, after I was almost carjacked, the next day Dave's so mad. I'm not dead. There's an attempt to break in, knew where the security system. I was followed and rented, almost kidnapped. Now a carjacking. Went bad. He's pissed. I'm still alive. We go get our bed. And you know those little bed slots about 1 by 3 by 5? He's so mad I'm still alive. He acts like he can't pick it up. I'm like, come on now, I can pick it up. A child can pick it up. He picks it up, whacks me in the face, breaks my teeth, and I'm spitting pieces of teeth. I have like 3 or 4 teeth fixed in one crown. And I'm like, why? He'll learn not to smart off to me. Well, he runs and jumps in his car, takes off to the store. According to the neighbor, 4 or 5 houses down on John Thomas Road, Ravenna, older white guy drove a silver car with white hair. Showed up in 21 to 22. I'm tired of this. Her ex-husband showed up in the store of Ravenna, screamed out he didn't want his wife anymore. And asked all the people in the store of Ravenna to help get rid of her. And it was the people in the store of Ravenna doing that to her for. Okay. Well, on the 6th day we get home, that's where I confront Danny and Jen. On the 6th day, we come home from the storage unit. Our door's kicked in the wall. Dave said it was a realtor passing out. Case don't report it. So I asked Danny and Jen, do you remember that? Yes. Did you know about bot cameras stalking me? No. Did you know about a shower scene in the other room to make me look weird with myself? No. I said, do you remember the orange, lemon, and grapefruit size bruises all over me? Yes. Almost passed out in front of the neighbor by the second week and it kept happening? Yes. Did you know they were drugging me and beating me and telling me to say weirdo stuff? No, I thought you were working too hard and bruising too easy. The kids came out of the room and hugged me. Grandma, is that what's going on? We didn't know. In 23, Jen's mom had died and they were having a memorial service. I go to it and I go to leave. He still don't know I know. Okay. Dan's talking to his family. He said, I finally went to Dad. What on earth is going on? See, he didn't know. He said he had hired some guy named Pete on his own. It was Pete and his men in our home before. Pete has a friend. They says a bunch of crazy crap. I've never talked to him. So Drugston told us to say it. And when she called the FBI hotline for help, some agent showed up at that church and he talked to him when she walked off. In September of 24, I was in Bueller's. Some lady walked up to a lady and said, I heard they're supposed to have her saying this. Another lady's shushing her. They drugged her and told her to say it before. Nobody's allowed to say a word. Oh, they admitted that in 18 from the first month of the case where that little white man showed up. For every idle word you're telling us, I'll turn it on you. You try to leave Dave. I'll list your child molester. I woke up with a big bruise on my leg again. Throwing up. Went down to Walmart at 62. Little white man came up and said that to me. You try to leave Dave, I'll list your child molester. I'm like, who are you? You know that bruise on your leg? Yeah. I used sodium pentothal. No, he didn't. He used date rape drugs. Stabbed me in my sleep, the freak. You know what you told me about wearing some kind of nightgown bending over and probably and accidentally seeing your butt and life of pain? And then threatens me again. I went home to legally booked house. Dave verified. I was dressed modestly and they only made fun of the back of my knees. He made the whole thing up. See what I mean? But he admitted he worked for Dave and he was drugging me up and telling me to say lies in front of the cops. Then other people, how they drugged me and told me to say this. They drugged me and told me to say that. They raised some guy named Chris out of the room. They photoshopped all their lies. This is 18 when they're saying it. By January 19, that they had photoshopped a feminine wipey above the toilet to make me look weird. Then March the 1st to 3rd of 21, they put two clips together, put her in a porn. It's not her, it's him. And then what you're describing is showering. Ha 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 ha. She figured out what they did. Okay. May 12th, 22 at noon, they found a tape of them emitting a shower scene in the other room. May 26th, 22 at noon, the shower scene was done on purpose at the Oakland apartment. December 9, 21, 4 p.m. All the tapes before were them and not her. And it's just a bunch of men doing crimes down here. Same day, white men, bald with dark eyes, distributing food at Stark County Hunger Task Force on 9th Street in Canton. He actually was one of my guards during the case came out. We always knew the tapes before were them and not her, so we never said a word. In February to March of 22, my client Navarre, they told their next door neighbor that Pete ordered everything to drugged, photoshopped, and made up on me. Okay. March 24th, 22, they framed me. May 25th, 21, in Wendy's in Louisville, the church people breaking in before drugging me, telling me to say word on molester stuff. Got two witnesses in my phone. 8/9/21, the apartment building for second closest fence. Lady and little girls live there. We're outside talking about it. 4 or 5 neighbors got together, did a police report. Okay. January 19, 22, they told the Department of Disability I was drugged and told to say it before February 2nd, 22, Latino man admitted he drugged me first and told me to say it. People ran into Save-A-Lot then and out on 6th Street in Canton, screaming it. An investigator from Ravenna Drives a Black Sebring showed up and said, I seen her out today. I found out that bastard really did drug her and tell her to say it before. Okay. If I see the Black Sebring with the Portage County plates, it's usually him and people. He showed up last year. I was in Alliance, went to a steak place. People came in and said some investigator from Ravenna said they already got all these people admitted that they photoshopped everything and drugged everything and made everything up on her. Tell everybody not to say a word. Okay. Eric, one of the drug dealers, November 18, 22. All the tapes before were me and not her. It was my idea to come up with it, my idea to do it, my idea to say it. For all these people turn around, they fell for it. Well, if it's only you, I could take care of it. I know it's that bad, and I still fell for it. June 7th, 23. Walmart 62. The Lighthouse Tabernacle and the cartel make fun of FBI Agent John. FBI Agent John fell for the stunt I tasted for. Oh, come on now. That FBI agent fell for it? You're kidding. It was only a stunt. Is that what's going on? Or John actually fell for it? You mean that FBI Agent John actually fell for a stunt I tasted for that were only a stunt? You're kidding. And then Cackle named out Title and Cackle. They mocked him. July 9th, 23, they, in Trinity Gospel, they dared the FBI to fix it. They wouldn't dare fix it. Arrogant SOBs, aren't they? Now, today, February 15th, 25, I am in Golden Corral. People are talking. They already have these people taped. They admitted to photoshopping everything. Nobody better say a word. People are in there talking. The FBI, we all know, makes fun of rape victims. They make fun of people for being drugged, being raped. We all know that. Mhm. And then they'll steal rape victims' money and turn you back over to them. Nobody will trust them around here. Go in Walmart 62. Some guy yells it out. I heard people say they all know that agent told on. Oh, they were talking about him telling on me. I've heard people say that they even knew she was being drugged, beaten, raped, and he didn't care. And that he turns people back over to rape victims back over to him and steals from him. Always mad. Other guys on the phone while walking around, they have those kids tape that saying they made everything up. Oh, yeah. How many times have the investigators done that? Repeatedly. Repeatedly. Okay? Oh, and then some idiots in there. They're going to file she was weird with herself. No, they're not. The police would have to file it. And what did the police tell you? They already know it's photoshopped. It was done by the drug cartel. Well, like they said, he had hired nothing but fucking child molesters. It was done by fucking child molesters, human traffickers. So are fucking child molester, human trafficker tapes admissible in court? That's a drug scam from some fucking child molesters? No. And a drug scam? So where can you file something when the police would have to do it? And like they said, the police said she has rights. I have a lot of rights. See, cults don't think women have rights. Or children. Oh, they do. We live in a free country. They thought they could hire the drug cartel to drug, beat, and rape me, and they wouldn't go to jail for it. It's absurd they weren't arrested the first day. They have breaks since the beginning of the case. They paid Agent John off. And he opened my case to steal from the government. How many times? Do you know the First Amendment states that not even Congress can pass new laws about taking people's freedom of speech away? Not even Congress. The only one that can take your freedom of speech away is a judge in a jury trial while the proceedings are going on. That's it. We live in the United States, baby. We live in a free country. Where I told my ex-husband, we don't live in a communist country. We don't. Where these idiot people have laughed at me. Agent John set her up. He went around telling on her for calling the FBI, and then told her she couldn't say anything, so she won't get no money. He can't withhold my money. It can't be in a court order. Why? Because not even Congress can create a new law taking your freedom of speech away. And like they said, he's a higher police officer, and it takes a judge. He was only bullying me. And then think of the absurdity. I met with that family in my office and all those charge people. He was seen by the police and Officer John, seen him tell on me. They all know he told on me. See, that's one of the things they said in Golden Crown. We all know that agent told on her before. And we all know he stole their money. Are the police investigating him? Yeah. See where those people were talking about the FBI. We all know the FBI makes fun of rape victims, human trafficking victims. Nobody will ever trust them. They'll turn you back over to them. Nobody will trust the FBI anymore. They don't make this right with me. No one will ever trust them. Their agent from where I called the hotline went around telling all the churches. that I called the FBI. It was him telling. It's documented and verified. The agent that returned my phone call from the hotline is the one that told on me to those churches. He confessed on a recorded line too, seen by hundreds, and the police telling on me that he didn't care I was being raped. See, that's where people were even talking. Do you realize they even taped that agent saying he don't care she was being raped? See, Agent John, my dad, when I was little, told me you don't play with snakes. They bite. Because I told you where I called the hotline. Well, we'll get to that in a minute. But I want you retards to actually think about this. They've called these people idiot people. Low IQ people. The cartel called them that. Matter of fact, June 23rd to July 4th of 23, they said they went to the party and made public fools out of all these people. And they were the life of the party, how they made fools out of everyone, mocking them. They're the butt of child molester jokes. Now, I want you to think what that agent said on the recorder. And I told you where I called the hotline the next morning. I couldn't answer the phone because they had drugged me up so bad. And I was even crying in my sleep, wiping rivers of tears, and then even couldn't hardly walk. I was so drugged up. I was doubled up, trying to get to the bathroom, to the refrigerator, got back in bed, listened to voicemail. This is agent, did it call me back? And I fell back to sleep. And it took me 3 days to get up. I got enough air in my face, called one of my witnesses. I gave the hotline, said they'd witness for me, went out and bought a card, and dropped it off the mall. And before we went to church, and then went up there, and he's up there telling on me, and Paymer's yelling at Dave, my God, I had an FBI agent. My office is right there. I walk off with him, walk up. He knows she's being drug beaten, raped. He said he didn't care. Covered in bruises, lost 18 pounds. Been throwing up, being treated by the doctor for severe swollen personal infection. Migraine headache, almost passing out in front of people. Go in and sit down, and they follow me. He knows she's being drugged, being raped. He said he didn't care. And then strangest lie of faking you were sick when it was a medication error. And if she was going to be mean to women, he was going to turn her back over to him. Can you imagine an agent saying that? People in 23 had went up to Apostolic Church of Barberton and were telling people in Akron, don't say a word. He did tell those people that. We did. Okay? They were telling people in Hartville, too, that agent knew she was being drugged, beaten, raped. And he arrested those people, and it was his job to arrest them the first day. Oh, absolutely. Dave came in, let's go. And we get out in the car. He threatens to kill me himself, goes for a gun. I put my hand on the console, punches me all the way home. Next day, rivers of tears, scared out of my mind. Okay. I tell him that someone told him he calls me a liar. I tell him about the guy that threatened to knife me at Giant Eagle. He calls me a liar. I tell him he tried to kidnap me before. And he's like, oh, come on, even if a church person sees him, they never verify it. That's why I didn't tell him about Terry Coberly. He said, I've met with that family in my office and all those church people. I know they're trying to kill you. And he says, strangest lies. Conspiracy to commit murder is a federal crime. He was to arrest them. He knew they were trying to kill somebody. He was to arrest them. Okay? I said I really was sick before you liar. Was there a camera above the bench? I don't know. Then I'll put you in jail. You either say or lie, I arrest you. It's like, fine, whatever. He laughed. He let a serial killer go. That was wanted by the police. Description. Okay? He said, I want you to say you were faking you were sick before. I was almost dead. I was dying from medical malpractice. I really was sick before you liar. I met with that family in my office, all those church people, and I know they're trying to kill you. And he says, strangers lie. I said, look, I really was sick before. You liar. You need to realize what you've done, and I don't blame him for trying to kill you. He actually says that. That's where an investigator said I almost fell out of my chair. He actually says that. And he's like, you either stay or leave me there, but they'll kill me. So they've tried to kill me. So you stay or leave me there, blah, 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 blah. It's like, fine, whatever. Why would the FBI help a person like you? Well, they're going to try to kill me, so. They've tried to kill me, so. Now, he's already confessed. He told everybody, right? He was seen by the police. He's confessing on a recorder line. Hundreds of people. Even Paymer's church came down and 23 yelled at in Target's parking lot. We already told everyone that somebody from the FBI can't call him up and told all of us. She called for help. Yeah, I know. Okay. And then the other agent on the recorder line yells out the rapist's name, the child molester's name, the drug cartel, human trafficker's name. Dave hired on his own. And the store event, now he's already got the Florida drug cartel involved. Okay? It only got this big because Michelle started dating some rich guy named Will that paid for everything. That found out she was cheating on him and manipulating him. Where they talked about that rich guy Will up there paying for everything. Okay? Now I want you to think about this. He yells out, we could use Pete's tape of Weird With Yourself. Now, who's Pete? He's a child molester. He's a human trafficker. Like they said, he hired a serial rapist. Now, you're going to say you can use a child molester's tape? A human trafficker that's a rapist that's been drug beating, raping some poor woman? That's running a drug scam of photoshopping and washing? Are you fucking kidding me? See, when he said Pete, the only Pete I knew was my brother Medina. I thought, what are you doing lying on my brother? Wouldn't he have died if I would have actually said that? Because I was thinking, why are you lying on my brother? I've never met my rapist. I said, what are you talking about? Because it's photoshopped. Why do you think nobody said anything? Because it's photoshopped. Okay? And I said, what are you talking about? I said something else about Pete. Now, I've never met him. Never talked to him. They even told you no man talked to her. No, we used truth serum. I said, no, they used date rape drugs on me instead. They lace drinks in the drink, take a drink out of a Diet Coke in the room and go dizzy and black, wake up with bruises, throwing up, infected, almost passing out. Had to be seen by all my family physicians all summer of 2018, or wake up with marks that look like injection marks and more. And I lost 18 pounds before I called FBI. They're talking about my rapist, a child molester, a human trafficker, making fun of me for some serial rapist that Dave hired in a store of Ravenna. We could always use Pete's tape of Weird With Yourself. Where'd you get it? From a fucking child molester running a drug scam of photoshopping and washing. Made fun of the FBI for falling for photoshopping and washing. Cops said they never fell for it. I said, what are you talking about? Stop, she don't know. They said something else. I've never talked to him. I said, what are you talking about? Well, I bet you're going to say, you already don't know anything about this doctor selling your information. HIPAA violations. None of my doctors could talk to even him. They can't testify against you in court. It's a 1 to 5 years, $250,000 fine. And where these call people are saying where those doctors almost coming, they had them in their pocket to write up a bunch of fraud on me, and they were actually working for them. My God, you're all looking at Joe. You don't even realize what you're confessing to. Like a lady investigator said, they'll all end up in jail for that. Then you can't say something's wrong with somebody. They're perfectly fine. That is lying for us. And then you're trying to say they were in it with the cartel, the cult, the whole time. Well, I had some lady use my insurance for 15 years. And since my dad gave David a job 9 months into our marriage, we got insurance right away. I started getting medical bills that weren't mine, hospital stays, everything. We disputed them. And there was rumors of him cheating with a heavyset round lady, my brother knew of her. My mom ran up all kinds of medical bills, found out from a hospital she has 2 little girls. It's documented even by the police of this woman using my insurance, and over half my medical bills are hers. She went Harry Carey. She even used my prescription card. And I said, Dave, how on earth would you get that? Oh, you just have to call in with your social. Okay. All right. Well, I thought maybe it was one of hers. No, it's just a big scam. He's laughing at me. Stop. She don't know. There was nothing to laugh at about that. Nothing. A big drug scam from drug dealers. Fucking child molesters running a fucking scam on somebody. It's documented it was a drug cartel in my home. That's who is making fun of me for the cartel running a scam on me. Okay? And he's like, give me a real reason why we FBI should help you. Well, I told him about my brother-in-law, Craig, that died working for the government. He said, well, have you talked to any law enforcement about the threats on your life? The only officers I talked to, August 8 of 18, came out for a light in the security system. They told me I looked like an alien orb or an angry spirit. Told me to buy a dog and let a dog handle it. You're kidding, right? I said, no, they didn't want bothered. Matter of fact, I've never had my neighbors in my home. I've only had repair guys and installation guys. Is that what's going on? Do you know if Dave has a girlfriend? Well, I think he's cheating. What do you mean you only think he's cheating? Well, I've never caught him with anybody. December 9th, 18. He confessed, I never caught him with anyone. So why is that funny? It's not. Then he offers to take me and leave me somewhere with no money. Then the informant program of $5,000 a month. Life of peace as an informant. Nothing legally stated, dated against you again, and only for you would we do this for. We'll always put it back as if it never happened. You can't be legally charged for anything again for work in this case. Admit to no wrongdoing, and I'll take care of everything in the end. But if you try to tell someone, unless you're crazy and no one can help, the FBI won't help you. And I told the Stark County prosecutor, and he told me if I couldn't get a hold of him, I could get a hold of Canton Chief of Police in 18. He was a really good man, and he would make sure that Canton Police always protected me and I could trust him. Okay, I went to the Stark County prosecutor on one of the people that work in that office, Walter. I met him at a McDonald's in Harmont. It was something that day. I told him what that agent said to me. He laughed till he cried. Laughed how he cried. He said, first of all, the police know they can't go along. First, he said they can't go along with him bullying you into false statements. It's illegal. The only thing legal he did on that whole phone call was list your informant with money immunity. He can't ask anybody to stay quiet. He's only a higher police officer. It takes a judge in like a jury trial. He's only a higher police officer. He don't even have authority. He was just making it up. He was bullying you. And the police know that. It can't be in a court order. Set guidelines of what they can put in the thing is for getting them information and risking your life. Karen, you don't realize you're in one of the many witness protection programs. Informants are different. You stay yourself, you feed them information. They owe you for risking your life to get them information, and it's only for risking your life to get them information. He can't make up his own rules, and the police know they can't go along with it, and it can't be in a court order because no judges sign it. They go to jail because it's illegal. It was illegal for him to even say that. He was only bullying you, so they get away with it. And he said, where you said that, he said his best friend was the chief of police in Canton in 2018, that he was a really good man. I'll let you know, he was a very good man. He was a really, really good man. I'll let you know that. And I looked outside, and there was over 10, 15, 20 Canton police officers parading around the window. It was outstanding. It was like he was talking for the police. You get the money for the rest of your life for risking your life to get the government information, and you stay in immunity for the rest of your life for working this case, the life of peace. I fight for peace every day. You know what it is? It's living your life without being harassed or worried if someone's going to sell you, kill you, or harm you. It's called freedom. You don't know what it is till it's gone. It's something every U.S. citizen takes for granted. It's called freedom. And the government will have to pay you the rest of your life. That agent cannot withhold it. He cannot misdirect it. He can't tell you the FBI won't help you or nobody else. It's illegal for him to do that. 14th Amendment, you cannot withhold any protection from any U.S. citizen. He broke the law saying that. The police know they can't go along with it. He's only bullying you so he get away with this. He cannot withhold your money. He cannot misdirect it. 14th Amendment can't take somebody's money but due process of the law. And due to the freedom of speech, it takes a judge to put a gag order on you in a jury trial. Police and agents don't have that kind of authority. He's only bullying you. It can't be in a court order. I said, well, he's already confessed. He told. Been seen telling on me. He can't tell on you, but you can tell whoever you want. He can't say a word. He was only bullying you. Criminal attorney and police I talked to. He was only bullying me. He stole my money. And if he stole the money from where Michael Peterson in 21 got a hold of me on Farmers, was breaking how he had dealings with Trakasami. And he was smuggling oil into the country. And I kept telling him I didn't believe it. Prove it. Why would I lie to you? Oh, he sent me proof. Letter of allegation, big money transfers, turned it in. Reported him. Last I heard, he got stuck in Venezuela. Got the port where it's coming in the state, well, the refinery is buying it. And a lady investigator said they called down about Michael Peterson's shipment, and it wasn't legal, and they did an investigation. He was arrested last year, him and 50 other people. Like they said, what accomplishment. One of their informants got him information leading to Trakasami's arrest. He may have stole $10 million. There was a reward for leading for that information. He has stole at least $350,000 to $380,000 and possibly up to $10 million from the government. I want you to think about that. Where the U.S. Marshals have showed up and you used my case, where I go up into Akron, we all know Karen's will is still open. In her case, it's a nationwide human trafficking scam. They'll tell you that in Hartville and other places, where all the cartels showed up and helped out. They break their crimes like they were unstoppable here around the police and the feds. Under police surveillance with a court order for an FBI informant threat of life. See, that's where my friend from the prosecutor's office, he didn't just open an informant case, he opened a threat of life case with attempted life case. And you'll have to be in protective custody the rest of your life. The FBI legally can never drop you. They can put you in another witness protection program, but they have to talk to you first. Or you stay an informant for life. You get the money for the rest of your life for working the case. They said he stole it the first day, December 2nd, 22. Alliance. They called him a paid-off dirty agent January to March of 19 in the mall. In January of 19 in Walmart 62, they said he tried to steal my money. And then in October 4th, 23 in Maslin, October 6th, 23 in Canton, and 23 up in Akron, several times, even all the way up into 24 of him stealing my money. November 20th, 23, he stole my money and took a payoff again. And they have, it's bad. I like my money and new name, new car, new place, not bugged by craziness. Life of peace. Like the police say, we all know this woman is innocent. We all know. FBI informant. The police watch me. Like they told these people, you're messing with the wrong person. The police watch her. January 25th, 2019, they told my ex-husband. They knocked on the door. The police always knew she was innocent and innocent before. They were talking about it at the station. Some guy was bailing this guy out from a team. Remember that? September 18th, 19th, the police tell the judges in Ravenna for you had us look into it. You knew she couldn't handle it. You knew she appreciated us doing it. You can find she did nothing wrong. I'm going to upload this.